Knock, knock. What you see before you is not exactly what one would call a game. It's more of an interactive meditation reenacted from scattered evidence that happened to fall into our hands. It was built according to instructions left by the original archive's anonymous donor. Many strange things, unclear moments you encounter in this, whatever it is, are due to requirements outlined in the archive. Maybe it was just a mysterious hoax, but it probably wasn't. We suggest you view it as just another urban legend. We recommend you play this in a dark, quiet place alone. Well, unfortunately, we're not doing either one of those. I have my lights, and I have all you lovely people. So, new game. Is there someone at our door? Something woke me up. Did a window break somewhere? Or did the door open? It will be hard to find. This is a huge house with tens of rooms, and I haven't looked in all of them for a long time. I've been feeling so exhausted lately. Alright, do we move? Okay. What a migraine, as if someone pounding a hole in my poor skull. In my poor skull. I'm terribly tired. I even started to sleepwalk last night. I woke up standing right here at the door. If it hadn't been bolted, I would have ended up outside. At night, this door has to be locked securely. Okay. So it seems like we just move. Well, if I like the... I'm exhausted, I just can't fall asleep. And then in the dark, I keep seeing some strange thing. By morning, the nightmares are always gone, though. How much longer until sunrise? Hold space. Oh, we're fixing the light bulb. Wait a minute, what happened to time? It feels like time is standing still. Why doesn't this night ever end? Something is very wrong. Alright, nothing that way. Okay. We need to go up here. This. This is how it's done. I can wind up the time too. If the morning is not coming to me, I'll move myself and my home towards it. Ah, okay, so that's a mechanic. So the mechanic is find the... That's not supposed to be open. Find the other... me clock things. So the sound of knocking came from here. But how did I manage to unbolt it and not lock it again? It's frightening to go out at night, but I have to check to make sure that it's just the wind. Hello? Open your mind. Hmm. For some time I see things that simply cannot be. Sometimes I even see new stars in the sky. But I don't record that in my archives and reports. It's simply depression, or maybe it's something even worse. They say it's called somnolence, and it can even lead to something. But this too shall pass, I think is what it said. We head back now? We keep looking. Okay. So house eye, okay. Interesting. There's a monster up there. What's that noise? It's the clock ticking. I'm finally awake now. And as usual, in the early hours of the morning, it'll be sunrise soon. And for now, I'll just check if everything's alright. I dreamt that the front door was unlocked. Someone was knocking. I had to get up and look. Then I regained my consciousness in the forest, and I could hardly find my way back. Oh, is this playing on the... You can't tell the difference between a dream and reality thing? Also, the house has changed. This door led out front. Wait just a minute. Just a minute. I'll wait for my eyes to adjust. I don't even recognize my own home. Why does it look so empty? It's probably just my eyes going bad. My eyesight's getting worse and worse after dark. It doesn't matter. I only have to wait a bit longer. Soon, it'll be daybreak. All I need is to wait last till sunrise. Dawn will put everything into its place. What is this? Oh, something to hide behind. During my night rounds, it's vital to turn light in each room for a little while. It's the only way to put everything back in order. Scientifically proven fact. If the home is kept in order, the nightmares will go away. Turned out to be nothing. Daybreak is very close now. I'll just have to survive until dawn. Survive? What does that mean? What are we trying to survive here, friend? It did show a room. It show a basement room that we can't get to. Interesting. What the? Ah. Oh, I see. Or fear made me? Okay, so that's something that we've got to.
You thought it was, and now it is inside.
Don't know what that is, but that did not sound good. Thought about it and now it's inside. That should be last time. Hide and seek in the dark. This is a test of courage. You shouldn't really hide when you play. Just try to play fair and wait for the game to end. If the seeker sees that someone is hiding, everything will start from the beginning again. The key is you have to guess how the seeker interprets the game. So if he says to someone, "You're hiding," but that person is standing in the open, then it's not about being seen or not. That's weird. Okay. Okay, I see. So the eyeballs are like a dream house. Generally, it's best for the psyche to sleep soundly in the pre-dawn hours, but lately I've been awake and restless. So I decided to spend hours checking on my house. Let's see if all the rooms are still where they should be. This house is an observatory. It's an old science station. I lived here since I was born. So, okay, so when we have the house one... Roll mouse wheel? Oh, we can zoom out. Oh, that's nice. So the house one is the waking world, and the eyeball levels are the dream, or the dream world. My guess is that they're going to start overlapping at a certain point. I'm a worldologist. That is my profession. I inherited it. The worldologists watch the world, study what it's made of. We write down the findings and analyze them. At some point, these notes could be used for scientific research. Okay. I didn't open this door. No one is alive out there. Who could have snuck in? And no one whose mind could have called me in. The only path here is the one that goes around my house. Right now, I can go check that there aren't any new ones. Okay. Saw the spirit of lady out here last time. Oh, not seeing anything so far. Oh, there she is. Oh my. It's a fish, I guess a deer and a vulture, all with people heads. Okay, so now another dream world. How many levels is that? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't count that fast. Also, interesting difference in the dream world, or when we're doing the dream things, we have a candle. In the other one, we have like a lamp, like got a glass thing over it. Finally, everything's in its place. I can see it clearly. Something is wrong with my head. I'm still half asleep. Why does everything look so neat in here? Because someone cleaned it up. Who cleaned it up? I did. Who else could have? Okay. Oh, there's footprints on the... Okay, so we can't... I would love to get there, but... door was closed. I'm not. The door won't open.
Wait.
Is that meant to be like where the bad thing is, I guess? It was you who believed in me. Okay. Everything is locked, thank goodness. Nothing can creep in here before morning. My home is my fortress. Yeah, that's not true. Something's upstairs.
It knows where you are. Wait there.
I have to hide. I don't know why, but I have to hide now. Oh, Lord. Okay. Oh, there's two of them.
When you thought about it, it came in. Hey, you.
I'm haunted by troubling thoughts. They insist on crawling into my head, as if they were alive. Okay, so I guess that means you can't hide for too long.
It knows where you are. Don't do this. No need.
Oh, it took some of our time. Interesting.
Do not. Just when you thought about it, it came in.
Okay. I guess we lost? Yeah. Interesting. I'm not sure what exactly it wants from us then. Someone just walked over my grave. Now we're stuck here. I guess that was supposed to happen to teach us what death does. Can't. Oh, we can open doors with space. I forgot about that. Oh, that's on me. Okay. I forgot about space was allowed us to open doors too. Oh, cool. It slammed the door on us.
Wait a minute. Don't run. I'll be quick.
Oh,
It knows where you are. Just when you thought about it, it came in.
Okay. I tried to get behind the thing, but it didn't work.
And right then, it was inside.
Well, that sucks. Trying to hide behind it. There we go.
He is playing hide and seek by himself.
Did you forget?
This is some game. Brings me back to my childhood. Hide and feel how the time starts rolling backwards. Ah. So we lose time the longer we hide.
Do this. It knows where you are.
Who just sighed? Is someone here? Something in the way. It was like damp earth. Doesn't even matter if I can be seen as long as I myself don't look at anything. Okay.
This is the wrong house. It knows where you are.
It got us again. I'm not sure how this mechanic works. Like, we're supposed to hide, obviously, but it just stands on top of us if we hide. And we can't be touched by it because then we lose our time. First I thought I was sick, but not the case. I'm totally normal. Mostly compensating for something. If only I could take some time off. It's so frightening to leave the house now. Something is actually happening outside. Who is it that keeps knocking on my window? There are no trees nearby. The house is in the middle of a clearing. Getting delirious. Gotta finish checking the house. I'm really unsure. Am I supposed to be focusing on making sure that all the lights are on? But he blows the lights every time he enters a room. The game just freeze? I think the game just froze. Yeah, I think the game just froze. Okie dokie. Yeah, it's not responding. Well, that's unfortunate. Go ahead and end it. Bring it back up. Okay. Continue. Let's try this again. Generally, I need to fill something. Everything's out here. Let's get going. It's best to turn off the light when I leave, otherwise I'll worry. When the windows are bright lit, I feel like someone's penetrating my eyes, watching for me. Oh, when you leave a room, turn off the light. Okay, I see now. So we turn on the light to interact with things. And then we turn it off to keep going. Ah. Thank goodness, everything's in order. I just need to remember to turn off the light when I go, then they'll never know that there's someone at home. I see. Okay. So that's a mechanic they should have explained before. Assuming that that's the mechanic that we're supposed to understand now.
Let's play now. Why try to get away?
What's over there? Don't look. No light. It's just my nerves. I'm not looking, not one bit. Not even turning my head. There isn't anything there. Oh, maybe that tells us where the clock things are? What is this? Is it a hole in the wall, or am I just seeing things? Of course, I'm only dreaming now. It's easy to prove. Once the light is on, it will all disappear.
Don't do this.
My name is nobody. Ah, I see. Okay. I think we're getting it now.
Just when you thought about it, it came in. Wait there.
Well, that's not fair. What was I supposed to do? Something here. Okay. So when she says wait there, don't. She is not out to help us. And also when we hear the dun 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 dun, It's them closing these doors. Okay, so this should be the last one. I know that when the light returns, the horror will simply vanish. This is the last eyeball, too. Close the door there. Oh, there it was up there. Alright, we made it daytime. Okay, so that one was a lot harder. You should play this game alone. Get up 3 hours before sunrise. Say this to yourself 3 times. I didn't forget anything. Walk through your darkened house and turn on light in each room. Go back to the room you started in. Close your eyes. Try to focus on the first thing that comes to mind. If you imagine a face, that being will come to live in your house. That's an interesting little urban legend thing. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 until we get to the big monster thing, so... Where did the diary go? Uh-oh. I clearly remember putting it under my pillow. I don't get it. Where could I have hidden it? My memory didn't used to deceive me like this. All this is rather strange. No matter what happened, I have to find it immediately. Or I won't be able to work tomorrow. It has notes on all the observations. Wow, that went pretty quickly. That's a new room. The old man gave me this diary when I was first learning how to write. He said that I would write my entire life down in it, and with that last page of the notebook, my life would end as well. Oh. He was the last in our family who was fond of speaking in metaphors. He was very young then. He took his words literally. I wanted to live a long life, so I rationed the pages. I only wrote in my smallest handwriting, rarely and briefly. It became a habit. But after a while, I forgot his words, and for some reason they've come back to me now, and they unsettle me. My father worked here before I did, before him my grandfather, and so on. Each of my predecessors added something to the house. Okay. The past is not very valuable legacy, which is why many rooms are locked. I never look in there. See, but what's this second bed for? That's what I'm most interested in. I'm so busy. During the day, I have to take samples from everything here. I have to check on the composition of the soil and also in the air, water, fauna, and flora. The forest is at the end of its life. It used to be rich biotope, but now it's dying. I couldn't find anything healthy. New growth. Any healthy new growth. The land has grown soggy too. All of the large species of animals have died out. All that's left are the numerous species of insects. Something is getting closer from the other side. We have to hurry. There it is. So that's kind of that seems to be our mechanic for the times that we're awake. We go to the clock and the door opens, and then we seem to have to find this lady in the forest, and then we go back home, and then we go into the sleep world where things want to murder us, and we have to turn on the light, to find things in the room, like the clock versions of us. And then we have to turn off the light and stay away from the monsters. Woohoo to you too. Honestly, this part here, other than the house expanding and we slowly learning about like the character and stuff, the walk through the forest has so far been kind of a filler mechanic. There's not really much here other than, oh no, creepy woods and looking for this spirit or whatever. And it's also not clear how we're supposed to find them. Not sure if there's supposed to be a hint in like how the trees are bent or something like that that shows us where she might be. Doo 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 doo. Don't see her. We're back at the house now. Problem is, I don't think we can go. Can we go back in the house? We can. Oh. Huh. I feel like we miss out by not finding her, but... There's the journal. Oh no, that's our blanket, never mind. Oh, the house has changed. I don't want to think about the past. It's less troubling to live in the dark. Yeah, there we go. Something happened. Why am I doing all this? Maybe it's not even necessary. I forgot something very important, something that I shouldn't even try to remember. I think it's trying to get on the idea of compartmentalizing. Each of these rooms is a compartment of his mind. I can feel that someone was here recently. There's lip-shaped stain on the door lock, as if someone kissed my door with a clay-covered mouth. No, not round. How could these pages be here? Why are they torn? I don't like this at all. Did someone get into the room while I was asleep and steal the diary? I have to check the entire house again. I really neglected it. Everything is at it as it was, but still slightly off somehow. What's changed? Or have I just been too overwhelmed lately? I can't keep anything straight. My memory is going. Light brings clarity. It separates the imaginary from the real. Confidence arrives with the light, which is why I anxiously await the break of day. Is there anything down here? Yes. Come on. Fan, okay. How do I get over there? Oh, I see. There's another ladder over here. I feel like there's something wicked on the other side of this door. It's calling to me. I feel like there's something wicked. It's calling me. I'm trying to... Wait, where are we now? Where am I now? That's what I just said. Long periods of isolation are harmful to the psyche. Tired mind distorts perception of reality. I have to snap out of it. I feel like something eerie is happening to my home. Oh. Huh. That wasn't very good. Weird. I thought we were doing well, and then all of a sudden we just lost. I guess we don't need to open that door then. Guess like those only come in the dark because the shadows eat through the walls of your home. Often address the diary entries myself, my older stuff who one day would read these entries. It was just a game, but now I feel the complete stranger has penned these pages. I shouldn't have turned on the light. Something was wrong in there. Actually, everything's wrong in this house. Once again, everything's different. What is real? Okay, well. So don't turn on the lights when there's a creature in the room. Got it. Oof. Okay. Does that creature just go away, or? I guess we don't go that way then. That are good or bad zoom. Very hard to tell. Okay, that's the good one, because we need to get rid of the eyeballs. Don't give as much time as they used to. God. That thudding is like obnoxiously loud. Okay. Okay, we can go this way now. All the way over there, okay. Well, we'll take care of that in a bit. Wait. There's more to this room. Okay. See, that's what I'm worried about is I'm hearing the voice. I don't know if that means it's nearby. And if so, how to actually get away from it. Do I? There it is. Okay.
Knows where you are.
Okay, yeah. So once it spawns, we can see it. So we get a little bit more time as long as we zoom out. Something new. This is a game which should be played in the dark. Sit in front of the window and close your eyes. Imagine that something new appeared in the inky darkness beyond the window. Say this to yourself. It's there. I simply didn't see it before now. Repeat this until you feel that someone's watching you through the window. Then leave the room. Okay. That's a new room, yeah. I really love having guests over. There was a time when little forest things would come and visit, and sometimes I even made dinner for lost wanderers. I would set the table and pass the time in conversation with them in my head. That's when I realized that more than anything in the world, I'm afraid of the invisible. Okay. Oh, I skipped that dialogue. I didn't mean to skip that. Trying to get to that dialogue, and I tapped it just as it went. I just want to see if he has any more dialogue. Yeah, so looks like the house time is just based on interacting with these. Life is only given so much time. When we look at the clock, you think how long you have left. It's the best to chase these thoughts away. Once you think of something terrible, it can come true. And now the front door is going to swing open. Yep. Let's see if we can find her tonight. Found her. Oh my. It looks like it's in Russian. Oh, there's multiple languages there. Trying to figure out if there's any English. Not saying any. Okay, we probably should have got that. Strange and unthinkable world appeared to me through the trees. My duty is to record changes in the world, but how can I even be sure that any of this is real? Fair. That is how delusions work. Do 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 do. We probably should have found that last night. There's the house. We just got to make our way over to it. And boop. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-ish after this one before the weird creature icon. Oh, the door is gone. That's helpful, I guess. Oof. The house has gotten big. So it seems like as the night... As the nights go on, some of the rooms are easier to find because we've remembered them a whole bunch. I think this is going to just reset the night. Yeah. Okay. So if we go to a door and there's like really hard banging, just don't open it. Just move on to something else. Because that's an immediate death. Oh, the door changed. Sleeping at this point, who knows what's going on? Everything's fallen in disrepair. Many rooms have been neglected. This house should be impenetrable. Even a little crack is a cause for concern. Which is why I have to find and patch up every single gap. Once they're closed, everything will go back to the way it was. Oh, that's what the eyeballs are. Okay. Okay, this structure seems to be a bit more... Okay, nothing in there. Like, it's a cool concept so far. It's just... kind of samey. Well, that was rude. Had to walk into one of the eyeball rooms and it was just like, blam, door in your face. Although I do find it interesting, this game... Where's that diary? It could be hiding somewhere. Hey, where are you? This game was... One of the tags for it in Twitch is platformer. I wouldn't really call this a platformer, but if it's referencing like the multiple levels, I guess. The multiple floors. Alright, so that's a hiding spot. Okay, so now we're gonna need to go down and around. Like, it's cool. I love the design and stuff. I just feel like the mechanics aren't really evolving.
Why do you keep the lights on?
I don't keep the lights on. That doesn't seem good. Okay. Well, then we won't go in there. Okay. Every time we reach for a door and it goes boom, 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 we're just gonna leave it alone. So. Alright, the next one is in this room. It feels like closing the doors in this level. Okay, every time we do an eye, we lose time. I don't understand why that is. Are we supposed to leave the eyes alone? But he said we have to take care of all the gaps. Hmm. Do watch. If you watch the time up in the top left, as soon as we... Oh. The ghost showed up just at the same time. Yeah, we lose time. We lost a lot of time there, dude, because the spirit or whatever decided to show up at the same time. Alright, so I'm not sure. Why does it show us the eyes? Is that just supposed to be, oh, here's a location that you need to avoid? Is that what we're supposed to get from that? Yeah, like, are we supposed to not go in that room? Is that... I don't know. It's not very well explained how you're supposed to interact with the things in the dream. Like, it tells us that we need to... Trying to keep an eye on...
I hear you breathing.
Okay, there it is. It was above us. Okay, it goes through on a floor. You really need to wake up and all this will end. The handwriting is made to look like mine, but it's just a little bit off. I didn't write this, that's for sure.
Hey!
Alright, can we go up here now?
Where are you?
Okay, that's a no-go. Okay, now it's on that floor. Okay, so it looks like it's stuck to the floor. I don't think we can pass this box creature.
I see
Do you? Oh, that's not fair. Well, we were trapped in a room, and the box guy was there. Something in here. Please be another clock. We've lost so much time. No, more leaves. Cool. Garbage. Yeah, well, the rest of the pipes. See, I thought maybe if we keep putting the rooms back together, our time would go up more. But it doesn't seem to really make a difference. Hmm. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do about that eye. Is that just like, oh, you can't turn the light on in that room now? Nothing there. Who is tearing out the pages? I don't get it. Why did I write this in my sleep? What does it even mean? Some of the rooms just don't have anything. I guess it's just, we have to just survive the rest of the night, because I think we've explored everything. Unfortunately, surviving is the hard part. And that's why. There's this ghost at... Okay. That eye's still there. I don't know, like, I don't want to do the eye because it'll take some of our time, but I feel like we're supposed to. Like, it takes a bit of our time, but does it give us anything in return? Aha, I know this place. Neat little hiding place. Sweet. A secret childhood stash. Right over here is where someone used to hide his little secrets. Okay. Yeah, see, like, we don't get any... I guess the only thing we get is, like, information for taking care of the eyes. Well, thank you for slamming the door on us. Guess. Okay, nope. It's fine. Want to close the door? We'll let you keep it closed.
Why be so afraid of me?
Hear it. Where is it at?
Where are you?
Oh.
Freeze.
Dang it. Oh, Lord. And you get scared today? Not really. Not really. This game is... It's got some stuff that's supposed to scare, but the mechanics are making it where... Like, it's not scary, it's just becoming kind of repetitious. Like, basically the principle is there's two worlds. There's the I'm awake world, in theory, and there's this world, which is like the I'm dreaming world.
Play now.
And in the dreaming world, there's these spirits and stuff, like that thing you see above us in that room above us, that are trying to kill us. Or, you know, make us keep sleeping, I guess. And our goal at night is to basically avoid the ghosts while turning the lights on in every room, so that we can
Where are you?
get information and find things during the night, while also waiting for that timer that you see in the top left, that small little clock in the top left there, while waiting for that to fill up as well. So, and hiding doesn't always save you from the ghost, even though it sounds like it should. I don't know. Like, it's a really cool idea, it's a really cool aesthetic, it's just... It's not quite what I was hoping for.
Freeze.
Ooh. And then the stuff like that happens where the ghost just spawns like right next to you. And if it hits you, it takes that timer and takes like half of it. So then you have to wait even longer. I'm getting delirious to finish checking the house and then get back to sleep.
Where are you?
See, this is what happens when we hide.
It is hot in here. Are you running a fever?
It takes our time to hide, but okay, I guess that's how the mechanic is.
The point.
I guess that's the mechanic, but it's weird because it takes our time to hide, but we're also trying to, you know, survive. So
Where are you?
so we're waiting for sunrise, effectively. The air is thick. Okay. Sure, I guess.
Freeze.
But, and then you'll see the waking world here in just a second. Oh, there's a box person behind us. We got to be careful about that. There we go. Sunrise, and that's the night mechanic right there. It's just surviving, finding all the stuff in the house. Everything's alive. This is a game to be played in silence. 2 hours before sunrise, gather the guests. Everybody chooses a human for themselves. After that, the guests should move silently through the house. All the guests are focused on their own business. Sooner or later, you will hear a voice. Here, birdies, gather around the marble nest. Then everyone should freeze in place. If the rustling continues, that means the game is over and you should stop immediately. The invisible one is among you. But yeah, so this is the, like, us doing stuff. Every time we're on a house icon, we get a new room in our house that we get a little bit of information on. The front door opens, we go find a spirit, we get a little cutscene, and then we go to the night. And that's the gameplay cycle of this game, basically. Nature is a machine. Nature is larger than man. Everything about it is logical. Everything can be explained. The laws are simple, eternal, and true. And the most reliable of our laws is time. Cycles decay, irreversible, ever repeating. Nothing but time brings order to the world, as it always has. This looks like a dismal place, but I feel at peace here. Ordinary forest, topsoil, clay, sand, leaves, and compost. Normal forest, the way it should be. So this is the thing. So we interact with this, and then as soon as that's done, the door is gonna go. There we go. And then we'll go out and try to find what we're supposed to find. I guess I took samples of the air every day. Humidity is the same. Composition too. Nitrogen and oxygen. The land hasn't changed much in eons. Everything's the same as it was for my ancestors. It's just the land's richness is in a decline. Taking note of it day after day is my job. But basically, I feel like these moments are given to us. Everything's quiet, no wolves or owls, only frogs and gnats. These moments are given to us as a moment of reprieve between the scary parts, but also to give us story. It's like, I don't mind this so much. It's just, I wish finding the person in the forest wouldn't take super long, because there was one night where we didn't even find them. See, I'm not sure if that sound is supposed to indicate that we are near them, or what. because we hear those sounds on occasion. But basically, we're looking for like a little silhouette. Of a person. And then we walk to there they are. And then we get this. These oddity little scenes. And we just keep walking until we find the house again. That, and we walk into the house. And that's the house sequence. So that's basically the game. It's house sequence, night of survival, house sequence, night of survival. And the house changes layouts every time. So also sometimes when we turn these lights on and he does this little, like, when he closes his eyes, he's trying to remember something in the room. And sometimes when he does that, we get the clock figures. Here, birdies, gather around the marble nest. Okay. Fewer and fewer blank pages left. And when we find the clock figure, excuse me, when we find the clock figure, it speeds up the time that we've, or we get more time. So it's in our interest to turn on these lights, but not for long, because they also attract spirits. Say, once we find these, you'll notice our clock in the top left goes up faster. And I'm not sure what spawns those, but and then that happens, that shows us where an eyeball is. The problem is if we look at the eyeball, we lose a little time, but I think the eyeball is what spawns the ghosts. It has to admit the obvious. He doesn't know how. It's beyond him. Also, on occasion, we'll have this happen where a door gets slammed next to us.
Small, cramped, closed rooms. And now I know where you are. Where are you?
Thought you knew where I was. I think we can hide behind this thing if we need to. Okay. They're heading to the right. They're on the second floor. So those handprints and stuff you see, that's an invisible. If you're in the room where those are, they'll get you. So there's the visible ghost, the one that's got like the sheet that kind of walks around. And then there's the invisible.
Can you hear me coming?
Wish I could see you. I think it's in the adjacent room. It is.
Small, cramped, closed rooms. I don't like it here.
See? And it just took, like, over half our time for that. That's the thing I don't like, is it is so unforgiving. And there was no way for us to see that particular, like, if we moved in the next room, we were going to get got. But there's no way we would have known they were in the next room. And again, if we go in here and actually deal with the eye, I think that basically stops the creature spawn for a time. But if you watch the clock, it takes a chunk of our time. And now it spawns down there. So now, if every time we took care of an eye, these things would pop up, that would give us incentive to do so, but that's not the case. So the
It is your turn. Wait a minute. I am close.
Dang it. And that took... Look how much time it took. Now we're basically at the start again. It's really annoying. I'm just gonna be honest. It's actually just, at this point, it's more annoyance than anything else. Hey, Neve. How you doing today? How'd the Warzone go yesterday? I know I caught near, probably near the end of your stream, but... Rotting leaves on the ground. Is it fall now? Oh, cool. We lost even more. I don't know. I'm doing okay. I was expecting this game to be more... just more, and it's not quite what I was hoping for. It's like, it's kind of like a not great hide and seek. The story is cool and interesting. I know they're definitely heading towards a reveal. But my guess is he lost either his wife or someone he cared about. And the rooms represent the compartmentalizing that he's doing to not have to remember that. But it's slowly creeping back into his psyche, which is why whenever we hear the ghosts or whatever they are, it has a girl's voice or a lady's voice. Yeah, I don't know if we're supposed to do anything with that, honestly. Now we definitely can't turn the light on. You can see this little box creature right here next to me. We have to be careful because that box creature, if you look at it, will take your sanity or your sleep or whatever it is. But they tend to stand in doorways like that to block you in. And if you turn on the light, it also messes with you, so... Okay, it's gone. But... instead of who's there, it wants more. Yeah, the only reference to knocking is when your front door opens in the non-dream world. Okay, nothing else in there. As long as we don't get saddled with another bad guy, we should be fine. But see, and another reason why I think it's someone he cared for is because when we go to the house world, the awake world, the heck? Force is creeping inside, but my home is impenetrable. The lights are off, the windows closed, the doors are all locked and bolted. I guess that's just gonna hang out there. When we go to the waking world, there's 2 beds. There's this bed, and then there's the normal, like, bed. This looks more like a medical bed, which is why I think someone was, like, sick and died or something. Well, little forest buddy, I guess it's just you and me up here, huh? Nope, you faded away. Even the forest doesn't care about me anymore. Now we just need to wait a little bit longer. Shouldn't be too much longer, and we'll get this done. Come on. Turn over, will you? Thank you. Welcome the guest. Set the table. Put the plates and cups on it. In the center, a round loaf of bread. You can cover the cups with pieces of paper or dead maple leaves. Don't turn off the light, but do close your eyes. Imagine the faces of the people that appear at the table, one after the other. These are your guests. Also, the ghost that's coming after us is covered in a sheet too, which also leads me to believe that it's something medical related, but this is what I'm talking about. So we have this bed that we sleep in, right? And then we have this bed. Just another dream. Now I'm back. Also, this room's interesting to me because it looks like a torture room. Because like usually like these kind of chairs you would put somebody in and then like latch their neck to the pole, but there are lots of books all containing the same endlessly repetitive notes. I doubt they're useful. Everything that makes it my home is also in my head. I've been living here so long that we're the same thing now. There you go. I mean, that was an obvious, like, the home is a representation of the character's mind, but it is nice when the character informs the audience. If you don't see something, it doesn't mean it isn't there. These aren't my words, these aren't my thoughts, and this has nothing to do with sleepwalking. Whatever it is flesh and blood. Someone else is inside my home. Do 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 do. It's not here either. Now we do this. Might as well start making our way back to our door. Yep. Boop-a-doop. Now we go out here and we have to find our friend. Just looking for a silhouette. The problem is I hear that and I'm like, okay, does that mean they're close, or does that mean that they're just trying to spook us in the woods? There's no real indicator that I've found for whether you're close or not. See, we can go this way too. They're out here somewhere. There they are. Where'd they go? Usually when we interact with them, they do a little cutscene thing. Maybe we need to find them again. Hmm. I can't tell if those noises are important or not. Guessing that's not. Also, I can't tell if, like, the trees are supposed to be, like, looking the right direction. Or pointing at it, or if it's just random, here's trees. Hmm. I guess let's just find the house and we'll head back. I don't want to spend any more time with this than we have to. Run into the house eventually. There it is. Okay. Into the house. Alright, so this one has a clock on it. There's another house, and then there's whatever those weird things are. Alright, how's the layout looking? Alright, I guess. You haven't forgotten me yet. Do I at least appear in your dreams sometime? See, that's what I'm thinking right there. Nothing there. Something here. Oh boy, he thinks he's tearing up the diary in his sleep. He feels that while he sleeps, he's eating up his own life. That's a noose. That's new. We haven't seen that before. Come on. Figure out your... And my guess is... we need to do that. Like, we lose a little time, but the only other thing is if that spawns ghosts, then we lose a considerable amount of time to ghosts, right? So I think that's why we have to go after the eyeballs, is so that we don't lose time to the ghosts, even if it's just a little time for the eyeball. Every time I try to go to a room, the eyeball is doing work. What's that machine? That's interesting. Alright, so the only room we haven't been in is down here, but we gotta be careful because we don't know where the eyeball is gonna be. Over there, huh? Alright, let's see if we can make it over there.
It is your turn.
The eyeball spawned a ghost right in the room as we were... Footprints, dirt, still a bit fresh. This is recent. What is that? Did I really walk through the forest in my sleep? Well, there's some new news. I think if we try to take care of this eyeball, we lose. Oh, we can't go through that door. Yep. Can't go through that door. Whenever there's banging on a door that you're trying to open, that means if you open it, you lose. And I don't mean like you lose time, you just lose. Just straight up.
Now, your turn.
Just straight up loss. The heck is that?
It was your fear. Is this your
Okay, the bed's rolling.
Don't run. I'll be quick.
Okay. I think he spawned a ghost, or the eye spawned a ghost right there. And that's why we lost. How's the house set up this time? First I thought I was sick, but that's not the case. I'm totally normal. Oh! I wonder if that's been consistent. I'm likely compensating for something. If only I could take some time off. But it's so frightening to leave the house now. Something is actually happening outside. And who is it that keeps knocking on my window? There are no trees nearby. The house is in the middle of... Okay, you already said that before. Okay, same setup. I just realized that it looks like every time we wake up in the night, we wake up in this bed. The medical-looking bed. I wonder if that's also something important. Come on. Come on. There we go. Come on. Some rooms take forever for him to remember what's in here. Why haven't I looked in here for so long? Oh, hi. Fox friend, I need to get to that ladder. Well, this is gonna be fun. Nothing like being trapped in the basement with a box ghost and an eyeball that wants you dead. Fair enough. Nothing in there.
Cramped, closed rooms.
Okay, bottom.
Do you see me, or do you not?
Alright, we need to find a room or somewhere to hide. It's definitely not here. We'll take that.
I see you now.
Oof. I don't know where the handprints are. Okay, they're going right to left. Going right to left on the floor below us.
Wait a minute. I am close.
Oh, they're on both floors.
I see you now.
It was on the in the other room on the top floor.
Do you see me, or do you not? And now, your turn.
Don't know where it's at.
I see you now.
Okay, I see it. On that floor, where's the other? Oh, they're both coming for me. They're both on the second floor.
I'm right here.
They're both on the second floor. They're walking past each other.
They are coming.
Oh, that's a tree person. I sure hope they're not on this floor. Oh,
Where are you?
okay. So they don't take as much. We can hide behind here if we need to. Okay, they're both on the bottom floor again. Forest debris. Okay, we lost a little bit there, but that's fine. As long as they stay on the bottom floor.
Hide.
Okay. Are they both?
I see you now.
What? I was hiding! What was I supposed to do there? And then, because they were both standing on top of each other, we lost. That sucks. There was nothing. Like, I hid. I did the one mechanic that I have. Someone very small lived here. Okay, well, thank you for a child. Could there have been a child here? I can't recall. I can't remember anymore. I'm always forgetting things. What happened here? Something's telling me I shouldn't even try to uncover it. Okay, it looks like the house has changed. This is all crawling out from the inside, not crawling in from the outside at all. The horror from the woods is in my house. The only thing that's in these little side rooms here is clock us. Okay, not going in there, fine, sure, whatever. You do you. Please don't spawn a ghost in this room while we're here. Oh, well, it's being super kind with the clocks now. There's something else down here. Six, yeah. This should be the boiler room. This dreaming is troubled, you're dying, but in the forest, they want you to live. Okay, good thing we're heading that way anyways. Okay, well, I guess we need to go down and deal with that eyeball. What's we remembering in here? Windows, yeah. They are real, but not as they appear. You see them like that because you're in a state of somnolence. Okay. Turn Turn off the light, please. Thank you. Jeez. Keep hitting spacebar and it was just like, no. No. Please let me go through this door. Okay, nope, it's this one. Oh! It spawned a ghost right on top of us. Yay! Love when that happens. The heck is that? Dirt scale? Hide and seek. It's not just a game, it's a way of life. No matter where you hide, time always runs backwards. Cool. Let's see if we can get up here before getting got. Need to open these doors. That's exactly why, right there. Please open the door. Please get downstairs in time. Oh. Close the door on us, which means there's probably going to be a ghost in here. Yep. Cool. Got ghosted, which means we lost all of that time. Nope. And open that door. Can we hide behind these scales? No. Oh, cool. This eye is down here without even telling us. What else is down here? Well, we can't make it up there in time, so that's fun. Gonna give us a clock person? Nope, just random garbage.
It is hot in here. Are you running a fever?
I don't know where you're at, so I hear goopiness. Okay, you're on the top floor.
Don't you hide from me.
All right, it's right behind us. That's a terrible hiding spot. I think that's where we hid last time and nothing happened. I do not. How about you go away? So hard to tell where the handprints are. Are they coming this way again? Yes, they are. Oh, and there's somebody in the basement now, too. This ought to be fun.
They are close.
Just got us. No reason why. Maybe you can't use a hiding spot more than once? I don't... Oh, man. No, you don't. We don't deceive me with your tricks. I'm an empirical man. I know how the world works. My mind is my testament. Voices in my head. I'm not listening. Did I glimpse something moving in the corner? I'm not looking. I will say that, like, this game wouldn't be so bad if you didn't lose such a large amount of time. You lose so much time when a ghost touches you. Like, you go from half to dead. And the mechanics aren't explained at all. They tell you you can hide, but they don't tell you what that means. Sometimes you just get caught, and if you get caught, again, you're basically dead. Also, it doesn't tell you what exploring the house does for you. Like, why does bringing these memories help? You know, it's like, okay, you find out what's in here. Cool, but... it doesn't help. Oh, look it. It looked like us. It is an us.
Now I'm home.
Why is there another us? I don't like that. See, and it's like, okay, is it in our benefit to take care of these eyeballs? Because we lose time, and they respawn so quickly on this one that... Once I take care of one of them, the next one's up. Is there a clock thing in here? Has to be, right? Oh no, there was more to that room. Okay. I don't know if we can make it over there in time. Sure as heck try, though. Not like if we don't get there in time, the ghost will just instantly kill us. Oh, cool. The game just screwed us. Because now the ghost is going to spawn. Because you stop doing whatever you're doing when it shows you what's on the map. Oh. Actually, it was nice enough not to do it at that time. Well, this one closed us in. Well, now we're definitely getting a ghost. Might as well open these doors. Can't open that.
You stink of fear. What is your name?
Okay. That ghost is fine. I actually prefer that to the invisible one, because that one we can see coming. But we're gonna have this house is gonna be full of ghosts. Oh, what the heck? Look how much time we have left now. Jesus Christ. We're done. There's no way we win this.
What is your name?
Doesn't matter at this point. Hey, it's a fake us. There's also another.
Hey, you.
I don't know what's going on right now.
Don't you hide from me. Is there anybody home? Anyone at all?
This other us gonna kill us? Like, I'm not 100% sure what it's doing.
What is your name?
Okay.
Don't you hide from me.
I'm real worried what's gonna happen if we go up there with the other us. I'm guessing it's just another ghost.
You are seeing it all wrong.
Wish there was somewhere where we could just hide and let the time run up, but
You trapped yourself. Where is right?
oh cool. It spawned a ghost in our room without any told you. So I think we have to give this one more try, but I'm swiftly running out of time today. We might have enough for 2 more tries. Under the basement and continue suffering, or walk outside into the forest and put an end to it all. Honestly, I would love if you just completed the map and didn't get... Cool, we can't even get out of this room. I guess we live here now. By the way, if you're wondering, if I finish opening that door, we just lose. Period. There is no... Doesn't matter what time it is, how much time you've got, anything. You just lose. You get put in the basement, and you die. If it's generous enough with the clocks, we may be able to get something, but look at that. 2 eyeball spawns within like seconds of each other.
Is there anybody home? Anyone at all?
Okay, it's fake us.
Where are you?
And now I'm home.
I hear you.
And now I'm home.
Magikes.
Where are you?
And now I'm home.
I just hope a ghost doesn't spawn. I don't know what happens when this thing catches us, but
And now I'm home.
I don't want to find out. Oh, I can just stay on the ladder.
Home.
I'm just gonna camp the ladder here. That sound good?
Hello?
Finally, I'm home.
Camp the ladder. Cool, it spawned the bed in a wall.
Where? You
Finally, I'm back.
Why?
Where's the bed at?
And now I'm home.
And he gets you. Oh, Lord, man. Wait. Oh, back at you. I don't... Okay, there's a clock thing in here. Hallucinations. They're due to lack of sleep. Can't catch sleep doing my nightly rounds. Well, most of that clock we just got was taken care of because the box decided to show up, so that's fun. Can you open the door, please? Cool. Whatever then. If I could just get another clock, that'd be fantastic. Didn't think so. Back down we go. We might actually win this one. It's been super generous with the clocks. Actually, it might be in our benefit just to not worry about going up there, because if we mess it up, then... Come on, come on. Thank God. Whew. They're very kind with the clocks. That's the only way we were able to get through that. This is how you play the game. They are only visible in the dark. First, you turn off the light in your home and open all the doors. As soon as one of the doors slams shut, close your eyes and say, "I'm glad to see you. Thank you for coming." If you did everything correctly for a second, you will see a fully set table with a round loaf of bread in the center. The table, there will be people staring back at you. Remember their faces, recall their voices. These are the invisibles that you brought to live in your home. Alright, this is the last house sequence. Not sure what that means, but... Oh my. Hello. You gonna let me get back to the game, or? Someone is staring at me from the outside constantly. What do you want? What? Is there something wrong with me? I can see you. Who are you? See, in this part, there's no reason not to turn on all the lights. Plus, we get little story stuff if we do, so... Wait, what? Thought I heard a door open and shut. Help me. I am. That was the whole goal, friend. You need to tidy up the house. Time to welcome the guests. You're afraid, and that's why you want to fall back asleep. You need to push forward and wake up. This is a small miracle that they let you if you're, as long as you're in the room, you can do the light however you want. All right. It's a good time to come to the end of your road with heart at peace. It would be most grievous to meet one's fate without having wrapped things up. There's also a crack at the top of the screen when we do this. He lost me when I was very little, and then he lost his mind. He stopped seeing me. Huh. Maybe I should check the entrance just one more time to make sure it's locked tight. That's where we're going, man. Well, measurements aren't lying, then these are not hallucination. These footprints are real and they're not mine. But who can know for sure? After all, this equipment is old. Alright. Here, vroom vroom vroom, come out. It's the most this character's talked in basically the whole game. We supposed to be finding tree people? Looks like it. People out in the woods. Not sure if this is what we're supposed to do, but we're gonna do it and see what happens, because why not, right? Not sure why there's a white crack lightning thing up there. I wonder if no, yeah, maybe. I was just like, wonder if they use that. It's not supposed to be on screen. This is why it's forbidden to leave the shelter of the house. One falls prey to madness in the woods. Game over. Continue. Oh. Okay, so we're not supposed to do that. So I guess what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to find her while avoiding all of the other, like, tree folk. I'm not gonna turn on all the lights. Knock knock bang bang. Alright. Yes, I know. Thank you, game. Not even a door to close over there, but sure. I can see you. Who are you? Do. Help me. Okay. Huh, I didn't do that last time. Infinite house. Yep, it's an infinite house. Okay. Okay. We need to avoid all of the stuff in the woods till we get back home. Oh, didn't mean to walk into those two. Guess we're on a time limit, maybe? There's the house. Okay. Bingo. Oh, there's more. Yay! Coming after me in real life when I'm sleeping and playing here. I need to get ready. Need to get ready quickly. There's no time to waste on games or guests anymore. Anyhow, they only want to keep me inside. I'll have to try twice as hard to avoid them. It's easy. I just need to stop thinking about them. Okay. Well, was that easy? Why have you been doing that? You know. Oh, hello. Cool, we're stuck with a box person. You go away, please. Yeah, me too. Box person MVP right now. There we go. I was wrong. They didn't come from inside. They are the real guests. My mind tricked me. I should have imagined them as something different, but now it is too late. Babysitter. Where is it buried? Somewhere close by. When I came home, there was only dirt on the bed, also leaves arranged in a peculiar way. Well, that's not great. That's on the opposite end of the house. Ooh boy. We're not even. Okay, well, I guess we go back down. Nice, it closed the door just to make sure. Just to make extra sure we knew we weren't going to get to it.
Don't do this.
What does that sound?
I hear you walking.
I hear you walking, but I can't see you because that's how unfair it is. I don't know. We're going to probably get caught. It happens. Cool, I don't even know if we can get over there right now.
You thought about it, and
Thank you, I guess. Try and turn on the light.
I'm drawn by your fear. Stay where you belong.
Oh, got us. I couldn't see it because it closed the door to our left, so... Cool, this one's gonna get us too.
I see you now.
That's not what I wanted to do. Stop doing that, please. Thank you.
Free.
Wait, how are we supposed to get this? I keep hitting up. There we go. Hit it. Hope it's coming.
You thought about it. Right then?
It's only a dream. I'm dreaming right now. I have to figure out how to wake up.
You thought about it, and now it is inside.
Everything has
Wait,
not been
be still.
I wish I could see. Like I can hear it, but seeing it is impossible. Okay, they're on the floor right below it. Oh. They're on the floor right below us. Okay, now.
is ready to come back to you.
Free not.
Come on, another clock. No. Dang it. You can get another clock and not get ghosted. We win. Trying to keep eyes.
Drawn by your fear.
Okay, we'll just hang out in the room with the eyeball then, I guess.
Be so
there we go. Whew. Oh boy. I wasn't expecting more after the big demon and the thing. Let's play a home on the edge now. Set the table as if for a memorial. For each place, lay out sheets of paper instead of dishes. Close your eyes and draw circles on each piece of paper. Repeat in your mind in different voices. Round, round. While imagining how large the circles are. Sooner or later you will hear a voice, as clear as if someone said it in your own head. Square. Or, no, not round. And then walk out of the room and close the door behind you. Is this really going to go all the way into the middle of the spiral? Because that's a lot. That's a whole lot. Still there, huh? Maybe I should check the entrance one more time, make sure it's locked tight. I mean, we haven't even made it to the thing yet, friend. Measurements, okay. He's saying stuff that he said before. Alright, down here. Clock. Good time to come in the road. Yeah, okay. See, and I'm going, if we're going off that clock in the top left, the you're awake clock, then we have like 2 or 3 more levels. Alright, so my guess is the mechanic here is changed. As before, we need to avoid the people in the woods while trying to find the lady. Oh. That's the house again. Wait, what? Why are there 2 houses? There. See, I love these sequences. These look awesome. But sick. I'm so sick. Okay. Something like this could be out here. It's against the laws of nature. It can be a forest out there. Dark, grim, dying forest. I know. Alright, there were 2 houses. There was this house and then like a tiny house. Oh Lord. Okay. Take a gander at this one. Not very big, which is not bad, but unfortunately that